What if I told you that you could replicate the success that Alex Hormozi has had in his industry in your landscape business? I'm Andrew Latursky with the Ultimate Landscape Academy, and over the last 14 years, I started a landscape business, scaled that business, and then exited it. And now I made a lot of mistakes along the way, but I'm here to ensure that you don't make the same ones. Now, you may say to me, hey Andrew, who's Alex Hormozi? Well, if you don't know who Alex Hormozi is, then I want you to take a minute and I want you to do a quick Google search for this guy. Alex Hormozi started in the fitness industry. He started working in gyms, eventually actually started his own gym and grew a few different ones, sold them, and created this program that was like a business launch model. He would come in and help you grow your business really, really cheap, and then he would take a portion of the new memberships for gym signups. And this worked really well for him. Over time, he built that model bigger and bigger and bigger, and now he runs a company called acquisition.com where they invest in other businesses and help them grow. He also does a whole bunch of stuff on social media, especially when it comes to like talking about sales and other way to grow your business. So if you haven't heard of him, go check it out. But what I am going to say today is that if you want to grow your business a way like Alex Hormozi did, step one, you don't have to be Alex Hormozi. You don't have to go to the gym and become this big jack guy that wears a tank top and shorts every day. But he has a lot of really good insights and things that you should actually implement in your business to help you grow faster. That's one of the great things I love about him, is that he is always giving really good value content to his followers. And to that one, the first way that you can actually operate a little bit more like Hormozi is by giving. So Alex Hormozi has this sentence that he says, give, ask. All right. So how does this translate into your landscape business? Well, with your social media, you can give things to your clients before you ask anything from them. You can give them tips in the spring about ways to prep their yard for what's coming up, and tips in the fall, ways to clean your patio before the winter. Like don't leave leaves on your patio over the winter. They're going to stain your pavers. Make sure to clear snow off your walkways so that you don't get as much freeze, heave, thaw within the base, right? Different things like that provide value to a customer. Maybe it's how-to videos. You're on a job site and you take 5 minutes to do a really quick how-to, and maybe it's how to lay out a job, right? Like if somebody's thinking about doing their own project, they're not going to be one of your customers anyway, so it's okay to give them a little bit of value. But somebody else might be thinking about doing their own project, and the value you give them is the information. They realize they don't want to do it themselves, then they call. So, you're doing a how-to video, and it could be as simple as like saying, this patio is 10 by 10, so we don't excavate 10 by 10, we excavate 11 or 11.5 by 11.5. We want a shoulder on each side of our patio. If you stop your base at the edge of the bricks or the pavers, over time, the gravel will fall into the soil, your bricks will drop. Right? So it's like, we give an extra 6-inch or 8-inch shoulder to ensure that you have this sturdy base to hold those pavers for a long term. Whatever it may be, give as much value as you can to customers, even having like a mailing list where once a month you send out a newsletter, and it can just be a very small topic, like talking about new products that are coming out, talking about availability in your schedule, whatever it is. Anytime you're giving something to somebody, you're giving them value. And over time, when they feel like they've gotten enough value and you ask, which is, an offer where you say, hey, we've got room in our schedule. Are you looking for a job? They're going to be more likely to interact with you at that time because you've given them so much before. At the end of the day, Hormozi says it, is give them so much that they feel like they would be stupid for saying no. Okay? So give them as much value, as much information as you can give them, so that when the time comes that you do ask and say, hey, can I help you? Or hey, what services do you need? They're going to feel foolish if they actually didn't take you up on your offer. All right. And now I want to say the second really important thing, a framework that you can use from Hormozi, is his knowledge about sales. He is a genius when it comes to sales. Hormozi says it takes the same amount of work and the same skills to sell a $50 item as it does to sell a $2,000 item. And then from there, the same skills to sell that $2,000 item as a $20,000 item. And in my opinion, from the 20 to 50,000 to 100,000, it doesn't matter. It's the same skill set at the end of the day. It's the exact same process. We get a lead, we find out what their needs are, we provide them a solution to the needs, and then we deal with any obstacles or objections that they have along the way. Now you may wonder, what's an obstacle or an objection? The most common ones are, oh, that's more than I was thinking to spend, so money, right? Oh, I don't know if it's the right time. I need to think about it. These are all obstacles or objections. Depending on when they come in the process is whether or not they're actually an obstacle or an objection. And we're actually going to get a lot more into this and a lot of other videos about sales as time goes on. So make sure to stick around and watch for more. But for the purposes of today, what I want to say is that you just need to get really comfortable with sales. And the best way to do that is to get yourself in front of as many people as possible. So when I started my business, I went knocking on doors. Like if I was in a neighborhood and we were doing a job, I was on maybe like my lunch break, I'd eat really, really quick. And then I'd go hammer on like 10 doors. And it was always the same thing. Knock, knock, knock. Hi, I'm Andrew. I'm Brickworks. We're working around the corner. We're doing a walkway for one of your neighbors. And while I'm here in the neighborhood, I wanted to reach out and just let you know that we have a variety of services we offer. Is there any projects that you're thinking about doing this season, right? Let them know that I'm here. Be friendly, polite. A lot of the times I got to know. No, we're not interested. Thanks. And okay, no problem. I appreciate your time. Have a nice day. The reason it didn't bother me and it didn't matter. I smiled as I said, no problem, have a nice day, as I went into it actually expecting a no. And I think this is something that's really important with sales, is that when you go into an appointment with a client, if you're expecting a yes, a lot of the times you come off a little bit pushy, right? Because you're like pushing them to say yes. Everything you're doing is forcing them towards that contract to sign it, and it creates resistance with the client. So what I really recommend is that you go into it expecting a no. That way, when they come up with things that might be a no, you treat it with curiosity. Okay, interesting. Why do you think that way? Or how can we solve that problem? Whatever it may be. At the end of it, if you get a no, thanks for your time. You've now had more time to develop your skills. You're going to get better at sales each and every appointment. Thank them for that time. But if you get a yes, it's a win. It's a big confidence boost. And this is going to help you improve your sales as time goes on. So go into them expecting a no, but get good at treating them with childlike curiosity and asking questions to help work through that sales process. That's how you're guaranteed to win more leads as time goes on. All right. And the last way that I think that you could be more like Alex Hormozi to help improve your landscape business is actually because Hormozi talks about the importance of knowledge. So a lot of landscape contractors out there are very knowledgeable about the installations that actually go on within their company. That's amazing, and that's because you've done so many of them. But where I think the education or the knowledge lacks is actually on running your business. I think a lot of you out there were really good working for somebody else, and you got fed up with the way that they were treating you. They didn't have the right company culture, or they didn't have the right kind of growth systems in place to help you grow within the company. You got stuck in one position, and you said, that's it, I'm going to do my own thing. And now maybe it's why you're doing it. That's actually what happened with me. I asked for a raise. I was running a crew and they couldn't give me one. So I said, see you later. I'm going to go do my own thing. But Hormozi really recommends that you learn as much knowledge as possible. In his opinion, you can learn knowledge one of two ways. Number one is you can learn knowledge over time. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to learn from those mistakes, and eventually you're going to grow. That's one way to do it. But that takes a long time, and those mistakes can cost you a lot of money in the long run. The other way he says that you can get knowledge is by buying other people's knowledge. So buying books, taking classes. He says you shouldn't invest in the S&P 500, the stock market. He says you should invest in the SME 500. So he thinks that it's more valuable to invest money in yourself than it is in the stock market, at least in short term, because what you can do with more knowledge will always grow your business further. So again, we can pay with stuff over time, and the mistakes we make will cost us money, or we can spend money up front and learn from other people's mistakes and then avoid making those same mistakes ourselves. It gets us profits faster, and at the end of the day, it offsets what we spent on the education. I definitely learned it the hard way. I didn't pay anybody to help me grow my business, and when I look back at how many years I struggled and I had a hard time with it, if I had just taken some courses, if there was something out there that could have helped me grow my business and I had known it was there back in my first few years of business, I would have far surpassed where I was even when I exited the business 10 years later. Listen, you don't have to be an Alex Hormozi, but I think if you take these 3 frameworks, the stuff that he talks about, and now we've applied it to your landscape business and put it to use, I think you're going to see huge growth in this season. If you're ready to invest in your business, then stop wasting time. Click the link below and find out more about what the Ultimate Landscape Academy can do for you in growing your business. Thanks again for your time watching the video, and I hope to catch you next week.